Hey guys, this is SteelBoy925 here, and welcome to my new tutorial series where I'm going to be covering how to play Minecraft. I'm going to start out with the very basics of survival Minecraft for someone that's never played before. I'm going to explain a little bit of how the game works and what to do on your first day, and eventually cover some of the more complex stuff like redstone and setting up your own resource packs and using command blocks and things like that. So let's go ahead and get started here creating a new survival world. So we're going to go into single player, create new world. I'm going to call my world How to Minecraft. We're going to be playing survival. Let's go into more world options. Now I'm going to type in a seed here because I know the world that I want to play on. If you're playing for the first time, don't really worry about that. Just leave it blank. It'll generate a random world for you. We're going to leave generated structures on, world type default. We're going to turn on cheats even though we're not going to really use them right now. Bonus chest off, and let's go ahead and create our new world. So I'm going to let this generate and I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so it looks like we spawned in a taiga biome here. Now before we start playing, let's go over some of the settings. I'm going to press escape to go into the menu here, and let's go into options. Right here's the difficulty. I'm going to change that to hard. These are the other settings. If you go into music and sound, you can kind of play with these, set it up however you like. If you go into video settings, depending on your computer hardware, you can kind of adjust these, bring some stuff down to get a little bit smoother gameplay. Personally, I like to set this brightness all the way up. When you leave it down in moody like it is by default, it gets a little bit hard to see at night, so I like turning that all the way up. The other thing, if you go into controls here, so here's all your controls. You can change them to however you like to play. Personally, I can't really reach the left control key with my pinky, so I like to change the sprint button to caps lock. And then down here you got the hotkeys for the items in your hotbar, and I like to change slot number 1 and slot number 3 to the side buttons on my mouse. That way I can get to them faster. And as you can see down here in the bottom left, I got my some of the keyboard buttons and the mouse, so you guys can see what I'm doing while we start playing. So that's all we're going to change for now. Let's go ahead and get back into our game and start playing. So let's go over some basic controls. Like any first person game, you walk around with WASD, jump with space. If I hold shift, I'll start to sneak, and I can use this to either walk slower or walk up to the edge of these blocks here. And actually by holding shift, I can stay on top of the block without falling down. See, if I let it go, I'll fall. The one you saw me change was the sprint button, so I'm going to sprint with caps. And then also I can sprint by double tapping forward, so if I double tap forward, I'll start to run. If you want to break blocks, you're going to use the left click. So I can show you on this grass block here. I'm going to hold left click, and I won't get a piece of grass, but I will get a piece of dirt, and you'll see that collects down in my hotbar down here in slot number 1. So I can do that again, hold left click and break the block. If you want to place blocks, you're going to right click. So I can, having this the dirt block selected, I can right click here, place a dirt block. I can right click here and place a dirt block. Okay, so that gets the basic controls out of the way. So let's talk a little bit about what to do on the first day. So we spawned in this taiga biome here, and you'll see as you explore the world that there's different kinds of biomes with different blocks and terrain generation. But this is going to be our spawn point. So if a new player enters our world, or if we ever die and we don't have a spawn point set, we're going to end up in this location here, somewhere in this general area, and we'll have to travel back to wherever we were. So Minecraft has 20-minute days, so we're going to have 10 minutes of sun. The sun rose over there in the east. Eventually it's going to set down there in the west, and we're going to have 10 minutes of night. Now when that happens, since everything's going to be dark, we're going to start to see mob spawning. So we're going to see zombies, skeletons, and creepers, different kinds of mobs that are going to want to try to attack us. So we need to take care of a few things so that we can survive the night. We're going to need to find some food, and more importantly, we're going to have to find a shelter so we can survive at night. Now we need to get a couple of resources. The first one is we're going to need some wood, and we're going to need the wood so we can make some tools and make some torches so we can have light when sun falls. So let me start punching this tree here, and as you can see, this is pretty slow, but we're only going to have to punch a couple trees and get some wood, and then we'll make some tools that'll make this job faster. So let me finish punching this tree, and then I'm going to go for a little walk and try to find a cave, and I'll get back to you guys. So I found this cave here, and as you can see that if I start to go down here, it's going to get pretty dark, and that's because there's no access to daylight. So since there's no daylight, it's going to get pretty dark down here, and because it's dark, we can actually get mob spawning even though it's day. So I don't want to go in there just yet. What I do want is these coal blocks here. I want to mine those up so I can get some coal. Now it's easy to punch dirt, as I showed you guys earlier, and it's pretty easy to punch trees, but punching these stone blocks and the coal blocks will take a really long time. And actually the coal blocks, if I punch them, I won't get any yield. So what I want to do is craft some tools. So let's go over the inventory. I'm going to press E here and open up the inventory, and let's go over this real quick. Down here you got your 9 slots that are on your hotbar down on the bottom there. So these are the blocks that you can access and place and interact with. Right here we got another 27 slots for storing stuff that you're going to want to carry with you on your adventures. On the left of our avatar here, we got our slots for our armor. We'll be crafting some armor later to protect us. This is a slot for your offhand, so if I put this piece of dirt in my offhand, you'll see I'm holding it in my left hand now. So there's a chicken. We can actually kill that guy and get some chicken so we can eat it later. So there's the offhand. If I'm not holding anything in my right and I right click, I'll place whatever was in my left hand. Back in our inventory here, the 4 slots here are for crafting. Now in here we can only craft items that require 4 items or less, 4 slots or less. So I'm going to left click to pick up my logs here that I mined earlier, and I'm going to right click one time there to place 1 log. So if you take 1 log and you place it in any crafting spot, that'll give you 4 planks. So I'm going to left click to pick up my 4 planks, and then I'm going to right click 1 in each spot, and placing 4 planks in this orientation will give you a crafting table. So I'm going to left click to pick that up. I'll put it down here on my hotbar so I can place it. So I'm just going to right click here, right click again, and that'll access this crafting table, which has, instead of 4 slots, it has 9. And we can use this to craft more complex recipes. So I'm going to left click on my logs here again. I'm going to place maybe, let's do like 6. And so I'll place 6 logs here. Every 1 log is going to give me 4 planks. So if I left click one time, that'll give me 4 planks. If I hold shift and left click, that'll do all of them. So if I place multiple logs here, shift and left click, that'll convert all of them from logs into planks. So now we're going to use our planks to make some sticks. So I'll place a couple like this. 2 planks in a vertical fashion like that anywhere in the crafting table will give you sticks. So 2 logs gives you 4 sticks. I'm going to go ahead and turn all of these into sticks, and let's make some tools. The first one we're going to need is a pickaxe. So you place 2 sticks like this to make a handle, and then you place 3 planks across the top to make your pick, and that'll give us a wooden pick, which is the cheapest tools you can make. They're the slowest, they break the fastest, but that's the first thing that we have access to. So here's our wooden pick, and we're going to use that to mine up these coal blocks. So let me mine up some of these coal blocks. You can see that as they break, I'll get this coal here, and also you saw those little green orbs. That's experience, and that's collecting in that green bar right above the hotbar. And we'll be using experience for enchanting later, but let me finish mining these up and then we'll get back. Okay, so I got quite a bit of coal now, and I'm also going to collect some cobblestone. If I mine up these stone blocks, I won't get stone because I'm using only a wooden pick, but I will get a cobblestone. You see it's a little bit different. It's got that cracked look. It's collecting down there in my hotbar. Now we're going to need this cobblestone to make better tools. So let me mine up some of this, and we're going to go right back to our crafting table. Let me get just a couple more here. You can see there's some more coal. I'm going to come back and grab that in a bit. Alright, so now we have cobblestone, and that'll be to make stone tools, which are going to be better than wood tools. So I'm going to right click on our crafting table here, and I'm going to make a pickaxe in the same way, but instead of using the planks to make a wooden tool, I'm going to use cobblestone, which will give me a stone tool. And the stone tool is faster than the wooden tool, and it also lasts a little bit longer. So this yellow bar down here is the durability. As you start to use it, it'll wear out and eventually it's going to break. This one will break a little bit slower. So I got a pickaxe. That's going to be for mining up stone. I'm also going to make a shovel. The shovel will be for mining up dirt and grass and sand and gravel and stuff like that. I'm going to make an axe in case I have to chop down some more trees. So you make an axe like that. The axe will be for wood blocks. And then I'm going to make a sword in case I find any animals. I can kill those so I can cook them up later. So you place one stick on the bottom for your handle and then 2 blocks like this to make your sword. There's a sword there. I'm actually going to put them like this. And there's the 4 basic tools. Those are going to be the tools we're going to be using the most. So let me grab some more of this coal and then we're going to get moving again. So I grabbed a little bit more stone. I'm ready to go here. It looks like it started raining. I'm going to grab my workbench so I don't have to make another one later. And let's look for that chicken that was around here. Where'd he go? Looks like the chicken's gone. That's okay, we'll find some more food. So we have our tools, we have a little bit of stone, we have some coal, we also got to find food. So I'm going to grab these mushrooms. You can make food out of mushrooms. I think we have to find a red mushroom so we can make some mushroom stew. I'll pick these up just in case. You can eat animals, so if you find chickens or pigs or cows, you can eat those. We can also eat berries. This is a berry bush here. I'm going to left click to break that, and I'm going to collect these berries. Looks like I got a seed as well. So I'm going to grab some of these berries. It looks like that's what I'm going to be eating on my first day. Now let me walk around and see if I can find some animals. So I haven't found any animals yet, but I did find some fish in this river here. We can actually eat the fish, so I'm going to jump in here, go for a swim, and I'm going to use my sword to kill these fish. So all you got to do is left click. I actually managed to hit them, and you'll see that I'm starting to collect some raw fish. Since my health bar's full, it went into my inventory, but I'll show you after I get this one here. So I'm going to press E to go into my inventory again, and you see I got 3 raw fish there. Now you can eat any animals that you kill, you can eat them raw, but they're not going to be as good as cooking them. So I'm going to hold on to those and cook them a little bit later. Alright, so we found a cow. I'm going to swim over here and kill this cow. So because we can only jump up 1 block, getting up there is going to be a little bit tricky. But alright, well, we can break blocks too, so let me use my shovel. Work my way up here. And I'm going to use my sword to kill this cow. So I'll left click to use the sword. And you see I should have gotten... So I got 3 pieces of raw beef, and I also got 2 pieces of leather from that. So where's our sun at? I actually can't see the sun because it started raining. Oh, chickens. We can eat chickens. So let me kill some of these chickens. I'm going to get... chickens will drop raw chicken as well as feathers. Now, most of the raw foods, like raw beef and raw fish, you can eat them and they won't fill up your hunger bar as fast, but there's no side effects. Now eating raw chicken, you can actually get food poisoning, so don't eat the raw chicken. Looks like we got another cow down there, but I actually got quite a bit of food for now, so I'm gonna hold on to the rest. Or I'm gonna leave the rest of those cows for later. Alright, and over here we got ourselves a plains biome, so we got this big open area. Maybe this is where we should settle down. So let me go ahead and before it gets dark, I'm going to make myself a shelter. I'm going to work my way down here. Now if you fall from too high, you'll take damage. Let me see if I can show you that here. Oh, that was too low. Let's go up a little bit. If I jump down from here, you see I took some damage. So right above the axe here, you can see that some of my red hearts went black. That's my health going down. And as long as I'm not hungry, I will regenerate health. Now right above the mushroom here, you can see I got the 2 black, I think those are drumsticks. That means that I'm starting to get hungry, and that'll gradually, as I run around and jump and attack mobs, you'll start to get hungry. And let me eat some of these berries to show you the health go back up. So I'll eat a couple berries, that'll fill up my hunger bar, and now that I'm full, I'll start to regenerate. So I got a little bit of food, the sun's going to be going down soon, so let's make a shelter. And I'm going to do that on the side of this hill here. So I'm going to take my shovel, start digging up some of this dirt. I use my pickaxe to dig up some of this stone, and I'm going to make a little cave for myself here. So let me dig some of this out. So I finished digging out this little cave to use as our shelter for the first day, and it looks like it stopped raining outside. It is dark now. I see there's a creeper that spawned up there, and I don't want to get ambushed, so I'm going to grab some blocks here. I'll just use some wood. I'm going to block that out to keep me safe. And since it's dark in here, I'm going to grab the torches we made earlier, right click to place that on the wall, and that'll light up our cave. So now we can see, and if we leave and come back, we're not going to have mobs in here. So let's grab this crafting table we made earlier, place that back down, right click, and I want to cook some of this raw food that we got earlier. So I'm going to make a furnace. I'm going to left click to pick these up. Earlier I showed you that you can right click one at a time and place them like this. That'll make a furnace. You can also pick up your blocks and then hold right click, and as you go around it'll start placing one in each spot. So you place 8 blocks around, or 8 cobblestone blocks around a ring like this. That'll create a furnace. So now we got a furnace. Let's go ahead and grab one of these two and set it down. This is what we can use to smelt blocks. So for example, I can take this wooden pickaxe that we're not going to use anymore, and I can take a piece of cobblestone. If I put it in the top, it'll cook that cobblestone, and it'll take roughly about 10 seconds. It's going to make a piece of regular stone. So you can see that that's almost done. Now we have this piece of stone, which is actually what we've been mining up. So you mine up these stone blocks. That'll give you cobblestone, and then if you want the stone blocks, you're going to have to take your cobblestone, put it in a furnace, smelt that back into regular stone. So we use up that. You can use wood blocks for fuel. I used that pickaxe I had. You can also use the coal, and the pickaxe only smelts 1 item. The coal here will actually smelt 7. So I'm going to put 4 pieces of chicken in there, and those are going to start smelting. So it'll take roughly 10 seconds. You don't have to stay in the GUI there. You can press escape, do whatever you want, and then when you're ready for your food, you can just come back and grab your chicken. So again, your furnace will smelt both food and blocks, and it'll smelt everything at 10 seconds an item. If we're going to specifically cook food, we can make something called a smoker. So we're going to take our furnace, put that right in the middle. We're going to take some logs. They can be any kind of logs, and we're going to place them in that fashion like that. And that's going to make us a smoker. So let me set this one down, right click. You can see it's a very similar setup here, but we can't use this one to cook stone. You see I put a piece of cobblestone in there. It won't do anything, but what it will do is it'll cook our food items twice as fast. So instead of taking 10 seconds to cook this fish, it's only going to take 5. So 5 seconds and I got 1 piece of fish. So smelting any kind of blocks, the furnace is more versatile, I guess. If you're specifically cooking food, make yourself a smelter. This will get it done twice as fast. So those are already done. I'll put my beef in here, and those will cook at 1 item every 5 seconds. Alright, and so now I got some cooked food. Right now I'm full, so I can't show you, but whenever I start to get hungry, I can eat this cooked food here. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of the first day. We got ourselves some food. We found some coal to make some torches and to cook up our food. Made ourselves a little shelter here to survive the first night, since we're not quite ready to battle mobs yet. Now I'm just waiting for the sun to come up, and we're going to go ahead and start episode 2, where we'll probably look into farming. We'll get some crops planted, and then we'll try to gather up some animals to have a more sustainable food source. So thanks guys for watching this new tutorial series, and I hope you stick around.